to Wholesale Hotline, where we cover everything to do with wholesale real estate. I'm Jamil Damji.
I'm Brent Daniels.
And I am Morby.
And together we cover the most important parts of wholesale real estate.
Lead generation.
Conversion of sellers into contracts.
And dispositions. Guys, remember, when you're watching this show, do us a favor and squad up in the comments.
Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channels and in the Facebook group Wholesale Hotline.
Most important, we want to know we're doing a great job for you and helping you build your business. So go give us a review on iTunes and or Spotify.
So squad up and enjoy the show!
In 2003, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in that, the first rule that the Rich Dad has for Robert Kiyosaki is the rich don't work for money. That always was confusing to me. What do you mean the rich don't work for money? Oh, they buy assets. They have their money make baby monies. Oh, that makes sense, right? That's just investments. That's just getting a return on your investment, right? But how did they get rich? Right? They didn't just start rich. The rich don't just all of a sudden, unless you were born into a rich, wealthy family. What does that mean? How do you go and make money from your money if you're not already rich? And I think that this was one of the toughest distinctions for me as I was coming up as a real estate entrepreneur, is I thought to myself, all of the money that I make, I'm going to just put into assets. I'm going to put it into rental properties because then my money will make other money. And it failed. It all went, it just all disappeared. I lost everything. I lost all the properties. I lost my cars. I lost relationships. I lost a business. I lost an office space. Lost it all because I wanted to go from here. I was self-employed and I wanted to put all my money into here. I was out there and I was hustling, right? The cash flow quadrant: employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. Are you guys familiar with this? The cash flow quadrant? All right, this is the different quadrants that we have from a making money or income perspective. All right, first there's employee, then self-employed, business owner, and investor. Well, when we decide that we're going to do a side hustle, or we decide that we're going to start a business, we become self-employed. We're out there. We're making the calls. We're comping the properties. We're talking to the buyers. We're trying to raise funds. We're doing all of these things, and we're self-employed. Right? But the fact is, we want to get over here, right? We want to build the actual machine. We want to build something that is predictable, something that is long lasting, something that we don't have to be a servant of, but it's a servant of us, something that we can work. And you've all heard it. We want to work on our business, not in our business. So what do most people do in the wholesaling business is they just hire a bunch of VAs, just a bunch of VAs. You just hire a bunch of VAs, and now you are a business owner. You replace yourself way too early because maybe you're afraid of failure. Maybe your schedule is too congested. Maybe it's just you just want other people to do the work for you because you really don't want to do the work yourself. But then you're not going to be able to build the skills. Pace Morby, Jamil Damji, who are in Orlando doing a fantastic job with the Bigger Pockets a conference, and they have a meetup, and it's fantastic. Both of them talked to tremendous amounts of people. Both of them had a hustle season. Both of them had to go out every single day and prospect for new business. Every single day talk to new people. Every single day negotiate contracts. All of them. Every successful person that I know as a real estate entrepreneur goes through a hustle season. So if you're in your hustle season, congratulations. Congratulations. This is exciting times. You will look back fondly on your hustle season because it doesn't last forever. But the huge mistake that I see is people are trying to leverage other people's skills to be business owners before they actually are doing business. So I want to give you another plan, another thought. You don't have to follow it. This is all up to you. That's the best thing about being an entrepreneur is we have a vision, which is just a goal that we have in our mind, and then we get other people to to come into this vision and to work with us. That's all a business is. We have a vision. We know where we want to go. We know what we want to do. We know what the goals are. We know how much we want to make. And then we get other people to help us out. Absolutely incredible. So we get this itch. We get this itch when we're self-employed. We get this itch that, oh my gosh, if I wasn't just focusing on making the calls and returning the texts and building the relationships, then I could just focus on the business and just think of big ideas. And then I can go and buy all the assets so that I don't have to work for money because my money makes baby monies. Relax. Hustle is a season. It's not a lifestyle. Okay? Think about that again. Hustle is a season, not a lifestyle. You're not going to do this forever. You're going to have other people doing it, but you have to build your business. It has to be on a strong foundation. You have to understand that it is about progress, not perfection. And progress, as defined by Ray Dalio, the incredible hedge fund manager, and he's written some incredible books, he says progress is pain plus reflection. Pain plus reflection is progress. So if it's about progress, not perfection, what can we do to get in uncomfortable situations today? Because I am telling you right now, the people that have skills will make it in this economy, will make it in this market, because this is not the easy market anymore. We've now had well over a year of really having to develop these skills and really understand what we need to build a long-lasting business. Right? And it's cyclical. This happens every so often. We went 12 years. And I'm telling you, I just got off the phone with one of my mentors. And since 2013, every single year he hears the same thing. Oh, it's all going to crash. It's all going to crash. It's all going to go down. It's all going to get destroyed. But never has the interest rates jumped this much, right? I mean, maybe they have in the past, but never have we had 12 years where interest rates were under 5%, and everybody that was born in that, everybody that was in that era of 5% interest rates have to change, have to grow. Pain and reflection. Pain and reflection, that's progress. And if we focus on progress, not perfection, and we go out there and take massive imperfect action, we win. But we have to take the action, build it up to the point where we can go and hire really great talent, and now we are business owners. All right? And once you become business owners, once you are completely out of the business is when you go and invest in your rental portfolio. What? I thought the best time to buy rentals was right now, like the best time to plant a tree. I disagree. Because I know if you build your business, if you build a business that runs without you, one, you're going to cherry pick the absolute best deals, and two, you're not going to get distracted by your investments. The rich don't work for money. They don't work for money because they got rich first. Get rich, then wealthy. Does that make sense? Does this all make sense? Are we getting this? Awesome. So here it is. Number one step. Boom. I'm going to give you some instruction. But with anything, with any business, you have to squat up. You have to find people that are already ahead of you that you can learn from so that you can shorten the learning curve and rock and roll. So squat up is number one. You got to find people doing this, people that are going to support you, people that know what you're looking to do. Number two, you got to get proof of concept. You got to do your first deal. That's how we learn. You learn way more doing your first deal than you do reading a book, watching this show, listening to a podcast, going on YouTube, whatever it is. You're going to learn so much on your first deal, and you're going to make a bunch of mistakes, and it's going to be awesome because pain plus reflection is progress, baby. You know it. Next, you do enough deals to where you can fire your boss. Fire your boss. Fire whatever boss you have here, fire your boss because you have enough success, you have enough in your bank account because you're closing deals. You're closing these wholesale deals, and all of a sudden you feel comfortable going into this business full time. But if you make that jump too soon, oftentimes you're feeling that stress, you're feeling the pressure of your bills and all your responsibilities compounding if you don't have income coming in and you haven't built a nice pipeline of opportunities. Next this is when we get excited. This is where we all want to be. I promise you, you can get there. You will get there, but it takes time. You got to really stay in the trenches. You got to really be in this spot for a while and build up that bank account. Just stay focused, laser focused on doing this business. Bill Gates' dad sat down with Bill Gates, sat down with Warren Buffett, and he gave him a slip of paper. And he said, I want you guys to write down one word on what do you need, one word on how to be the most successful in business. They both wrote the word focus. Both of them. The word focus. Not doing everything all the time, all at once, right? Focus. You fire yourself, and then, baby, then you're buying the assets. Then you're going out there. Then you're building your rental portfolio. But a lot of people go, you know what? I'm going to do some deals, and then I'm going to not focus on building my business. I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to buy this rental, and I'm going to do these flips. And then all of a sudden, all of your time and attention are on these and not on building your business. And now you've got a rental property that you're managing yourself because you're not all the way established yet, and you're getting $200 to $500 worth of rent. But the fact is, Google it right now, what's the average cost for a single family house just to keep it up is between $3,500 and $5,000 a year. You don't have cash flow. You've got zero. And then if you're buying in an area that doesn't have wild appreciation, what are we doing? Why do you think that 85% of the properties we buy are from tired landlords? It's because they trying to do this, trying to do this, trying to do this. So focus on building your business, and I'm telling you, you will win. And I have no dog in this fight. I don't care what you want to do, whatever your strategy is. I'm just telling you, I've seen more unbelievable, hopeful, strong, powerful entrepreneurs crashed on the rocks of buying rental properties too soon. And I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. It is my mission to go out there and try to get you guys to build an actual system that'll give you cash flow. By the way, in my business right now, between $40,000 and $60,000 gets wired into my account after taxes every month. How many rentals do I have to buy to get here? But this goes into here, and I build a fund, and I lend that money out at 12%. Rich don't work for money. Don't. I mean, between 120 and 200,000 extra in my income a year comes from lending money and the fees from that. All I do is wire. Pretty cool, right? I love you guys. There you go. Does that make sense? How'd I do? Good? Does it make sense? Okay, good. Awesome. Guys, we're here for 4 reasons, all right? We're here for 4 reasons. Number 1, I want to give you the instruction to win. The instruction to win, not education, not fluff. Inspiration's great. Motivation's great, but discipline gets you places motivation can't. It's an absolute fact. And so I want to give you the instruction so that you can go out there and actually take action, because that's how we make the income. All right. Number 2 is we're going to answer questions. We're going to answer a whole bunch of questions. So this show will only go on if we have questions to answer. And I want it here as well, because I've got this little mic here that I can now pass around the audience, and we can ask any questions that you guys have. If it's about this, if it's about a deal, if it's about whatever, I want to be able to do that. Number 3 is to squad up. You need to make sure that in the comments section, you're letting everybody know where you live. Let everybody know how much experience you have, or let them know that you're just starting, or let them know if you have any kind of questions, or if you want to meet up with people, meet them face to face. It's so important. There's something magical when people get together and they have that shared mindset. All right. And the last one is to celebrate your success. We don't get to do it too often on here, and it is a shame, but I want to ring this victory bell. So I don't care if you've just closed a deal. I don't care if you just talked to your first property owner. I don't care what it is. I want to celebrate your success. Matt, my man, my engineer, is going to make sure that he picks out the best questions and the best comments and the best success stories, and we'll make sure that we give you a shout out and a bell ring. We'll start right here with the Trainer Brothers. How many deals this month so far? Hold it.
Thanks for having us.
Uh-huh.
Number 5 is closing on Thursday, and then number 6 just got assigned today. It'll close on like 27th.
And how much you making?
For the month?
Yes. For the month.
I think it's going to be like over 35K.
Awesome. Here we go. Come on. Awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Give me the
I
cue.
got a question.
Yes.
So we're starting to hire acquisitions people.
Yes.
how much time per day or week should we be spending with them? Just basically coaching them. Is it a daily thing?
All
or is
day
it-
for 6 weeks. They have
Okay.
to shadow you all day for 6 weeks. Everything that you do, everything that they got to see you doing it. They got to absorb it. They got to understand your cadence. They got to understand the way that you're speaking, the way that you have confidence about it, and then they're around you all the time. But you got to throw them in.
Yeah.
You got to throw them in. They got to have conversations. They got to be talking to people all day.
So is there like a time in like the morning you should just like go over situations and then just have them make
Yeah, do a
calls all
little
day?
role play for
Yeah.
sure. I would start out every morning with a 20, 30-minute role play. Hopefully something that you guys experienced the day before, or the week before, or whatever, or something that like really tripped you up when you got started.
Yeah.
I would probably write down like 10 objections or 10 situations that that you often run into, and then just practice those and drill those and practice those and drill those.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Thank you.
You got it. Awesome. All right, guys. We're going to start getting to some questions here in Wholesale Hotline. By the way, welcome to Wholesale Hotline number 191. My name is Brent Michael Daniels, Mr. TTP, and I am excited to be here with you guys. Obviously, I miss my brothers, Pace and Jamil, but they will be on next week, so that'll be great. Awesome. Right here. We buy houses in Denver, Colorado's #1 home buyer. Question: what do you think about marketing to probates? How many mailers till a contract? Great question. If anybody has experience with direct mail here, please put it in the chat. I don't mail to probates. We just call them. I use a company called US Leads List. They do a phenomenal job of getting the people that have just inherited and going through probate. But remember, you got a couple options with probates. Number one is if you lock it up too soon, they might get wiggly towards the end, right? So you got to just make sure that if you're going to lock it up before all of the process, all of the probate going through the courts, is if that's going to be a long-term, if that's going to take a while, then you can lock it up, but you're going to really have to stay in front of them. Right? You're going to really have to build a really strong relationship with them. I always like building the relationship, getting ready until they're about to close in that probate and get the actual ownership, and then start talking numbers, because things shift all the time. But a huge advantage that you can give to these soon-to-be property owners, or the people that are inheriting the property, is find a probate attorney that will help them through the probate process and get paid through the closing of your deal. That's a great strategy. We use that as often as we can if they don't already have an attorney. So I don't know how many mailers. So if somebody in here does, let us know. Adam. We're ringing this bell. Bought 2 more flips on Friday and just assigned a 10K rip. Come on. Awesome job, Adam. Awesome job. That is great. If you could, Adam, let us know how you found those. That would be awesome. If you got that from some wholesalers, or if you are sourcing it off the MLS or direct to seller, let us know. That'd be awesome to know. Any other questions in here, guys? While Matt's pulling this up. No, you guys good? These guys are awesome. And Skylar asks, in your opinion, when is the correct time to transition into a business partnership? Never is the answer I have, but I'll put some nuance to it. So I believe if you have a plan to have a fix and flip business, a rental portfolio business, a wholesaling business, then you can have different partners for each one. And that's very helpful, but they have to bring something to the table that you can't, right? They have to bring specialized knowledge. They have to bring relationships. They have to bring money or the ability to raise funds. And that I'm okay with. That works. Or if you have something like Jamil and Pace have partners, and their partners run certain businesses, right? And that frees them up to go out and start new businesses and conquer new challenges. But in mine, I just want to grow a wholesaling business, and I can hire people. Most of the time you can hire people, really, really, really excellent people, without having to give up ownership. And I think a lot of times when we're starting out, I certainly did. I had 2 business partners, Mike Mahoney and Dustin Munger, in different kind of eras of my real estate career, and both are excellent. And but once we went on our own, we built 2 equal sized businesses. And so there's some of that. Unless you're brothers.
Is an integrator someone that you can just hire?
100%.
And do you think it's like one of them contracted people or someone that would be full-time integrator?
Full-time. I would. I mean, I've always found out that it was a lot better having somebody full-time. So I have Jackie Thornburg. She's my lead manager. She runs my business. She's like the chief operating officer. I call her lead manager, but she runs everything. Mm-hmm. She really does. And that frees me up to coach and to do whatever I want. And so yeah, and she's got a nice salary plus bonus. Yeah.
And do you know what the revenue should be before you hire a full-time integrator?
It depends. I mean, because you guys are a special company, because you guys are brothers. So I think you guys can go really far. I mean, you could easily do $1 million just yourself. I would say probably at about the $500,000 mark is when you can start getting an integrator.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah. And with acquisition managers, a junior acquisition and an acquisition manager can do $2 million of business, depending on what market you're at. You might need more if your average deal size is like 15, but our average deal size is 33. So I only need 2 guys, or 2 people. And, but it just depending on how many deals and that ebbs and flows between, I don't know, 60, 70 deals a year. So maybe that's the benchmark. Maybe it's better on amount of deals than it is income. Awesome. Great questions. Hey, Brent, what is the ARV times blank minus repairs in NorCal and Southern California, just to get an idea? This is from Average Show. This is a great question, right? So the fix-up cost times what percentage minus repairs? I would go, I mean, here in Phoenix, we've been upwards to 84% minus repairs. We've gotten up to 90% in some areas. So I would go even 95 in your area, in NorCal and SoCal. I mean, I think investors will buy it at just minus repairs, maybe even just buy it at the retail value if you can add an additional dwelling unit to it, which is what the government's really pushing people to do, so that more people can live on one lot. But I would go 95% minus repairs. A lot of ARV questions. Awesome. Jonathan, what's the best way to figure out ARV in different markets? I love this. Can you get me on the lapel? All right. So here you go. This will work for most areas, except for Southern California, Northern California, Seattle, Chicago, downtown Chicago, Manhattan, Miami. This will typically work right here. So you're going to get the ARV, and you can just do this very simply as just an easy comp. You can go to Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, add these all up, and then divide it by 3 to get the average here. Okay? You don't have to be perfect. Your buyers are going to really help educate you on this, but this is a great way to see if you've got an opportunity. Now, if the ARV is above 250,000, you're going to want to be about 60% of this price. Okay? Now, if you're in those very, very popular markets where they're not making any more land and everybody wants to be there. Did you guys know this? Only 9% of the United States land is occupied. Isn't that wild? Doesn't that tell you something? What that tells me as a real estate entrepreneur is like, people want to live in very specific areas. I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? But like long-term wealth building, why would you ever buy in an area that nobody wants to live in? You know what I mean? So just save it up and buy like really good stuff by the beach or something, you know? I don't know. So 60% if it's between 250,000 and 100,000. By the way, guys, watch Jamil's comping show. He is the absolute master at it. He's a lot more specific, but this is just giving you broad strokes that have always helped out my students and ourselves to comp. You're going to be at 40% if it's between 250 and 100. If it's below 100, you're going to be at 10%. And this could vary. This can be between 25 and 40%, just depending on the area. And so between 25 and 40% here, 60% and 10. But you can go 60, 40, 10 pretty easily. So what I like doing is when you're on the phone with a property owner and they're like, how much do you give me? Or they're just like, I don't really know how much I want to sell it for and all these things. I like saying, I like pulling up Zillow, do this, thousands of times. And I would just say, you know, a neighbor in similar condition, similar size, and you can always find this, so this isn't lying. You can find this within a mile radius, without a doubt, in every market. A neighbor in similar size, similar condition is selling for around here. Is that what you were thinking? Now they go, oh, yeah, that's kind of, we're close. So they're going to go, are you kidding me? You're out of your mind. I want 700,000 for this, and it's on Zillow for 500,000, right? So I hope that helps. That's the easiest way to just kind of run quick comps. Does that make sense? Yeah. Have you guys tried this at all? Yeah. All right, good. Awesome. So that's just an easy way to do that, guys. Galen, my man. Brent, you've mentioned that we should not look for work-life balance, but harmony. Would you elaborate on that a little bit more? Yeah. Everybody's talking about like balance. Well, we're unbalanced. Entrepreneurs are unbalanced. You're never going to be balanced. You know what I mean? You're never going to not think about your business. It's like a child. It's just a different brain. We're just wired differently. So instead of trying to like be balanced, be obsessed. Be obsessed with it. Just don't neglect everything else in your life. Find harmony with your wife or husband, find harmony with your kids, find harmony with all these things, right? And be in there, especially when you're in hustle season. And this is the hardest part, because when you're in hustle season, it's going to take so much out of you. So much out of you. One, the self-doubt is bananas. It's going to always creep in there like a weird little monster that just creeps into your brain. It's going to try to pull you down. Don't let it happen. Be around positive people. Be around people doing more than you. See them going to work every single day so that you don't have that self-doubt. Because the fact is, without a doubt, 100%, if you have enough conversations and make enough offers on properties, you will win. It's impossible to lose. It's impossible. If you have enough conversations and make enough offers, I don't care if they're on the market, go for the on-market ones. Have enough conversations, make enough offers. You see a rough-looking house, enough conversations, enough offers. You see a rough situation, somebody going through probate or pre-foreclosure, or they're going through a divorce or bankruptcy or whatever else it is, conversations and offers. So that's what I mean by there's no balance. We're going to be unbalanced. There's going to be certain things that we can't do, because we're obsessed with this business. But then you build something, and then the rich don't work for money, and it gets great. But there is that hustle season, and that's what I mean. During that time, during that specific time, if you want to have balance outside of that, outside of your hustle season, and you've built a really great business, and it's being run by excellent people that you've attracted into your business, rock and roll. All right, does that make sense? We're just always thinking about it. You know what I mean? Drive down the road. There's a deal. You hear a situation. There's a deal. Oh, you hear somebody talking real estate at the grocery store. You're like, what's up? You know what I mean? It's just all our antennas are always out. It's always exciting, you know? And so, yeah, that's what I mean. The Real Honest Investor asked, Brent, I've heard you say one deal every 200 calls. Is that 200 contacts or conversations? Yeah, that's contacts. That's you making the calls yourself. Now, that goes up dramatically if a VA is making those calls. You can 5X that. It's about one deal every 1,000 conversations that they have. And that's an American living abroad making calls for you. You can 10X that to 20X that if it is somebody that English is their second language. It just takes more calls. Unless it's you yourself. And then like Glenn is an excellent example. He just pounded and pounded and pounded. 88 days, got boom, 2 deals. Right. And so he was on the show last week. He's incredible. And he grew up in Bulgaria. And so English was the second language. All right. Grant's going bananas. All right, Grant, thank you for your persistence. What are strategies for bringing in money for value add renovation to a house that is going to be a primary residence for a year, then will rent out? Give somebody equity. That's the easiest one, Grant. I always found that it's a lot easier to raise money if you've got a track record of finding really great deals. And not just explaining some comps to people, but like showing them the income that you've made. So I think that there's a huge advantage already doing deals. And so think about that. The other thing is you can give them equity, you can give them a return on investment, but they probably want to put some sort of paper on it, right? I mean, they should put some sort of deed of trust on the property or lien, mechanics lien or something like that on it. But just whatever obstacle, if you have somebody that's like, hey, I have money, I want to make baby monies with this money, then you can figure that out. Just figure it out. Have the title companies figure it out. Have Constant Close figure it out. Whatever you want to do. Lisa, question: do I need to have a business name, an LLC, before I wholesale? Need is an interesting word. No, you don't need to. I would suggest it, just because remember, like entities that are created, they get taxed different, right? So you earn, you can spend, and then you get taxed, as opposed to going out and earning money, getting taxed, and then you can spend it. So much, much different there. And so you can write off a lot of stuff. You can write off your, parts of your house. You can write off your electric bill. I mean, your phone bill. You can write off your gas and insurance and some of these other things. I am not a CPA. Maybe that's all wrong. So go check it out with a CPA. Awesome. Ramon, just closed my first deal last Thursday, 10/12/23 for $15,000 after 3 long years of trying. Ring the bell, Brent, please. Come on. There you go. That's it. I mean, that's the proof of concept. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Proof of concept. Thank you for staying in there, Ramon. I mean, I'm telling you, there was, and I might have mentioned it on here a couple of times, but I was at my son's school and they have like inspirational quotes and just like up in this bulletin thing. And they said, be the ancestor that your relatives are proud of, right? Like changing. Ramon could have quit. He could have quit and not done it, but now he's on the path. Now he's closing things. Now he's learning and he can share that. And I think that, when it comes to legacy, when it comes to family, it's not the money, it's not the assets, it's the work. It's the work ethic. It's the example. It's them seeing you do it. It's seeing that you live a different life that you chose. You know what I mean? That you don't have as many bosses as everybody else seems to have. You know what I mean? You have more control over the time that you have on this planet. You know what I mean? That's awesome. That's what you give to your kids and your family and your friends. And I've been fortunate enough. I was asked on an interview question today, what is something that I'm like the most proud of as an entrepreneur? And the fact that my parents work in this business, my best friends work in this business, and to be able to share that with them and share what we've learned. And now Ryan and Chad and Jeremy. Ryan and Jeremy were my college roommates, right? I've known them forever. Mike Mahoney's been my best friend since we were in 7th grade. And just the fact that we can all share in this is the best feeling ever. I'm telling you, it's like nothing else. It's like nothing else. And I get it. A lot of people say, don't mix business with family. You can, if you're not an asshole. That's just what it is. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. They do not work for me. They work with me. My job is to make sure that they have enough opportunities to close deals, and just trust that they have the skills to be able to do the job. And they more than exceeded that. It's wildly rewarding. So a little side note there, but congratulations, Ramon. Rogelio, Brent, with inflation being high, how do we approach the repairs? Thank you. Yeah, add 20%. I mean, add 20% to your life. I mean, it went up 20%. I mean, they say 17, but it feels like 20. It feels like 50, to be honest, doesn't it? Feels real. Things feel real heavy out there. And so get ready, because there's going to be a lot of people that they're just going to get rid of these properties. The interesting thing that look for that we're finding here is the people that lost a bunch in the last crash are like bailing early right now. They're like, woo, I'm out of here. I will sell this. We had a gal right now. She just took her house on off the market at $599. Beautiful house. Totally done. Scottsdale, South Scottsdale, right here. And I think we'll lock it up for like 500. Just wants to be done with it. Just boom, done, right? And a beautiful house. I mean, we could turn around and make 20, 30,000 with a little bit into it. But there's going to be a lot of it. We're seeing a lot of it. And we do TV ads, and the TV ads go to our website, and the conversations that we're having with people that have had their property on the market or have thought about putting their house, it's wild. It's going to be this fourth quarter is going to make or break a lot of businesses big time. I'm excited you guys are doing so well. That's awesome. Danny. Guys, the more questions we have, the more that I can answer. We've been going for 36 minutes. I am full of energy here on a Monday. I don't know what it is, but we're going for it. So put in your questions. Danny, hi, Brent, beginner here. After closing my first deal, how would you recommend to proceed with taxes after your first deal? Would it be taxed already, or would it be something I calculate on my own? Just as a rule of thumb, Danny, put 30% of the profits aside and just talk to a CPA. Just get an accountant, right? Have them do that. And there shouldn't be a tremendous amount. You don't really need a bookkeeper as you're getting started, in my opinion, unless you have a lot of transactions. So a CPA can really direct you in the right place. And then if you have that set aside, then at the end of the year, you'll feel a lot better knowing what you have to pay. Or just talk to a CPA, and they can start sending in things quarterly, which is great. But I got to the point, listen, I would always save it up. I would always put it in an account. I was always wait. And then it would be like this huge bill, right? Like it'd be the big bill, and you're like, oh my gosh, that is rough. But now I just get it taken out right off the bat. I don't even want to see it. I want what comes to me to be able to go and put into my investment part of the cash flow quadrant. So once you get to that point, Danny, but just make sure you set some aside. Joel, best way to leverage buyers and connections. Have tons and tons of connections from private money lenders, wholesalers, buyers, etc., but want to make sure the best deals are being sent. How to verify each deal? I feel like there's a bunch of questions in there. First way, best way to leverage buyers and connections. Send them great deals. But I think, listen, so we're doing a couple different strategies right now, and it's really interesting. So, are you guys familiar with Spencer Caldwell? Right. He's done like 20,000 wholesale deals. Half of those were done at auction. He would sell them to big hedge funds, and he was bidding down in the auction. And he out of that, he was just, what would happen during when there was a lot of foreclosures is a list would go out. He would tell you, these are the auctions that are going to happen. He still does this to this day, and he puts it all on Twitter, the deals that he has. So you can check that out at Spencer Caldwell. But anyway, he would send out a list of properties that you can bid on, and then all of his buyers would pick out whatever they wanted to bid on, and he would go and bid down at the foreclosure auction. Now, because there's not a lot of foreclosures that are going to all the way to the auction, he compiles all of the different wholesale deals around the state, essentially, and he blasts it out twice a day, right? He has a morning one and he has an afternoon one. It's an Excel list. It shows you exactly what it is. It's got the drop boxes, and he's basically like a dispo company, but he's just aggregating all the different properties. And you see that's been taught, and that you see a handful of people like that in different markets as well. But it works. We started doing it. We started getting permission from other people to send out their deals. We obviously send out our own deals, but it's a separate company. It's not my dispo, Jeremy Thornburg's strategy. It's Chad Coulter Sr., who's phenomenal. And man, 2-3 deals a week. I mean, not huge, right? But like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 here and there. We'll try to get something that's 10 or 15 in there at some point. But we've been going 90 days, and I think that we've done 25 deals just from that. But it's not even that, because it's not wildly profitable. I give those profit. I mean, most of it goes to Chad because he's building this up. But the experience, understand what these buyers are responding to and what they're looking for, it's pretty bananas. It's pretty crazy, because I would have never thought certain properties would sell. You're like, that is not a deal. And then people jump all over it, right? You know what I'm talking about? And I'm like, holy cow, this is absolutely bananas. So that is a business strategy for wholesaling. Get a bunch of permissions for people to send out their deals, but get permission. Get permission, because if you don't, it gets really wacky and people don't trust you and like you. So get permission to send it out, and just build a big, strong buyers list, and you're rocking and rolling. Cool. And how to verify each deal. In this example, that's my long way of saying, Joel, they don't. He doesn't even look at any of it. He doesn't care what price it's at. He doesn't care where it's at. He doesn't care what conditions at. He just puts it out there, off market inventory. And some of these sell. And you're like, what is happening? But it's people that want to live in that neighborhood, or people that want to develop this area and they own another lot. And it's people that, have a different rental strategy where they're going to do a pad split or do some goof, who knows? But the best way to get educated on what to sell and who to sell it to is send out an email twice a day. Holy cow. The feedback is so critical. And then Jeremy takes all the sales and he puts it into his little map, and he knows exactly where the hot areas are. Woo! Next level. I didn't teach him any of that. He did that all himself. There you go. They're teaching me. Daniel, Brent, the hardest part for me has been initial cost for wholesaling. I try to strategize my lists on PropStream to maximize my skip tracing with terrible results. Any entry fee advice? Yes, Daniel. 80% of people get their first deal from driving for dollars. It's just the fact. 80% from driving for dollars. So if you know that they're really rough properties, they only got 2 options: put a bunch of money into this property or sell it to one of us. That's it. That's really all it is. So you can build that up. By the way, you can get Deal Machine. They give you a discount if you use TTP. Or they give you something for free. I don't know. Check it out. They have a virtual driving for dollars. You can literally have a VA for $4 an hour drive all around using Google Maps and building you thousands of properties in your driving for dollars. Well, is Google Maps accurate? I don't know. Test it. Just go do it. You know what I mean? It's more accurate than not doing anything. So I get that question every time that I say, oh, well, just Google Street Maps, how updated are they? I don't know. I'm not in charge of Google Street Maps. But check it out. For the most part, in most major cities, they update it several times a year. And even in smaller markets, it's pretty updated. I wouldn't worry and just be like, oh, I can't have properties that have already been bought and flipped or anything like that. Just go and find some ugly houses and give them a call, Daniel. And that's how you keep your budget super, super, super low. There you go. And that's what I did. The first 20 deals, I would go out with a pad of paper, and I would write the addresses. This is before Deal Machine and apps and the internet. It's not. Stop, man. Anyway, and I would just go and I would just write down the addresses and call up the owners and just see if they were ready to sell that property. And it worked. That's how I did my first 20 deals. And I had a lead sheet that I had printed out that I had made myself, and I would fill it out. when I talked to them, and then I would keep an accordion binder that had 1 through 31 days. And if it was what's today's date? 16th. I'd pull out the one that says 16th. I'd pull out any leads that were in there, and I'd call them. And that was my lead follow-up. That's how I made my first $1 million in wholesaling. I would literally drive around and just put these leads into an accordion binder. I'd have 2, 1 through 31, and then January through December. And if it was October 16th, okay, October 16th, pull it out, call them. Done. Deals. Conversations and offers. We don't have to overcomplicate this. I think technology is just really good at helping us creative avoidance. It's just creative avoidance. We're like, oh man, I got to really figure this thing out. I'm going to automate everything. Well, the Tranter brothers just called your lead and got it. You know what I mean? Like, there you go. Sherry, fantastic picture. Look at that. When you mention hiring people, do you mean as 1099 contractors? I don't want to be on the hook for all employee withholding stuff. Yeah, but at some point when you grow your business, Sherry, you'll go W-2. Drives me crazy. Drives me absolutely crazy. All the paperwork and all the stuff with W-2s and how much they tax everybody right off and how much taxes come out of the business. I mean, it's crazy. But at some point when the business is big enough, you want to W-2 people. Because it's really difficult for a lot of people to just 1099, do their own taxes, do their own write-offs, do all that stuff. And my wealth, my family office that manages my wealth said, do it. So I did it. Jimmy Vash. I am an acquisition manager and only make $3,500 a month. What should I do? Sell more deals. Right? I mean, if it's 35, if you're an acquisition manager and your base is 3,500, which that happens often, right? You hire acquisition managers, you give them a little breathing room, give them the ability to make something so that they can pay their bills. And so it's a base, but just all day, every day. Jimmy, you should go to bed exhausted. The lights should be totally dimmed out of your eyes by the time you hit the bed. I'm just telling you, you do that, you build up the endurance to just call more than you've ever thought possible. You're going to be unstoppable and you're going to own that company, truly. But the best pillow is exhaustion. That's an old saying. I don't know how old. What else? Anything here, guys? Any comments, questions? There we go. Here we go. State your name and question.
My name is Esteban Ledesma. Thank you, Brent, for having us here again.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask on more of a personal level of your experience going through with social media and stuff, giving the wisdom of personal branding at a volume, quality, and just networking. What's a tip you could give about personal branding and starting it?
Yeah, I think everybody should do it. I know a lot of people are scared to do it. I know that I was scared to do it. I was forced to do that by Tom Kroll and Darren Bentley, who are absolutely fantastic, and it's exploded my business. So one, you should be proud of what you do, and if you have conviction, it's easy to turn the camera around and just document what you're doing. So document you comping, document you being here, document you making a call, document what's going on, right? So you don't have to feel like, oh, I'm like on stage and I'm trying to perform and I need to make this perfect type of thing. Just document it with a lot of conviction. You're excited about this. Your background. You didn't even go to school on Fridays because the school didn't have enough budget to go all week long, right? You got a scholarship at ASU. You're doing that, and you're building this business. That's incredible. You got to share that story and be brave with it because there's people out there that are in a similar situation that they just don't have, somebody to look up to or reach out to. So I think that as long as you turn around and you document your day, and I would also. If something inspires you, don't make it your own. Don't take somebody's quote and just be like, it's your quote now. You know what I mean? Like give credit to the people who you've learned from. And I would say it depends on what kind of audience you want to build, but there's really 3 different types. There's an education audience, there's an inspiration audience, and then there's an instructional audience, right? And everybody's kind of a blend of all of it. But if you go out and you do a lot of entertaining things, you're going to get a lot of that inspirational type people, and that's fine. but the action takers are the ones that are like, tell me what to do and I'll go do it. And that's who I like being around. I like giving instruction as opposed to too many stories or too many, just kind of staying in theory mode. I like talking about exactly what you need to do to win. And if I don't know about it, I won't talk about it. Right.
Thank you, Brent.
Yeah, you got it. Thanks, Esteban. TTR57. That's a cool name. Haven't closed a deal in over a year. I'm back to where I started watching this podcast and getting ready to talk to people again. Go talk to people again, TTR57, and put your name on here. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier to connect with all of these I'm telling you, there's millions of dollars in the chat. Millions of dollars in this chat. And I know it's all scattered between 2 Facebook groups and 4 YouTube channels, but I am telling you, there's millions of dollars here in connections. I mean, probably $1 billion in connections and just future business. So be brave to put your name out here and connect with people and let people know where you're coming from. All right. Awesome. How you doing? Business good? Any deals?
Sold 3 in the last 5 days.
Hold on. Oh, sorry, Matt. What'd you do?
Sold 3 deals in the last 5 days.
And how much you make?
It'll probably come out to around 15 so far.
Okay.
We're gonna retrade a couple of them.
Okay.
But I
Can
mean,
you put the camera on him, Matt? Thank you.
but I mean, my business model is kind of like Spencer's too.
Yeah.
You know, where I'm going and getting permission
Yep.
from wholesalers, and
Yep.
like that's such a great way for people to start, especially if you have no marketing budget. It's
Yep.
literally just going and connecting with people and squeezing yourself in the middle.
Love it. Here we go. I got a couple questions for
Yeah.
you. Woo! I got a couple questions. What do you use for your email? Blast?
So I run everything off of Go High Level.
Go high level.
Yeah, so I use that for texting, calling, emails. It literally has everything
What's
on
the
it.
limits on sending it out?
I think it's 5,000 a day. So it's like,
5,000 emails
yeah,
a day.
yeah.
How big's your list of buyers?
Honestly, only like 750.
Yeah.
So it's not massive, but I mean,
It seems to be effective.
yeah, I mean, it works, you know,
Yeah.
and it's building every single day.
Yep.
And like, I do the same thing, 2 email blasts a day, but I try and actually sell my deals before they hit the email.
Yep.
And I use that as kind of like urgency.
What do? You
So-
call them?
Yeah, I'll call or text.
Yep.
A lot of the times it's text because it's like I could hit
Can you
majority
move
of
over so
people.
that they can see you? Just stand right here. Yeah, just keep going. There you go. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There we go.
about to be out of the room.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I use Go High Level, and I'll use that to text it first,
Yep.
and then I'll give them a call,
Awesome.
and then because like I can send it out to 50 to 100 people.
Yep.
And then I can go and call and be like, hey, I just sent you that deal. Not sure if you saw that in your inbox. But I just wanted to make sure you take a look at it because we're sending it out at 11 on our email.
Yep.
So let me know what you think, you know, and then that puts a lot of urgency on people.
Love it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. Now I need that 15 to be 150. 150.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, that's a good question then. Like
Yeah.
how, if your business model is based off of like dispositions
Yes.
and helping other wholesalers, what is a good way to increase your spreads on your deals?
You're just going to have to cherry pick the ones that are great and commit to them and then resell them.
So I'll go and put down the 5K.
100%.
Okay.
That's how you do it. You see one that comes across and you're like, what the? I want it now. I will get 5,000 done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you jump on it, you get it assigned to you, you completely control it, and then either close on it and sell it or assign it to somebody else.
Yeah.
That's how you get the big spreads.
Cool.
Yep.
And I want to say too, Chad is awesome. I've been working with him for the last like 2.5 weeks. and
Yep.
He's a dog for sure.
Chad, Coulter Senior or Junior?
Senior.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's
Isn't he
cool.
amazing?
Yeah. We've been sending each other deals back and
That
forth.
guy was an
trying
FBI agent for a long time.
to-
Seriously.
That's awesome.
Seriously.
That's
I'm telling you, you want really great acquisitions team, get
Yep.
former law enforcement. Ryan, my acquisition manager, who's done, I mean, we're just under 2 million in the last 12 calendar months. He was a police officer for 12 years. You know what I mean? He's absolutely incredible. So he's cool getting into these uncomfortable situations, or, maybe it's just a darker house and it's rough looking, you know what I mean? And he loves solving problems. He loves when people try to screw us. Woo! He loves it. He is going to bring the hammer down. He's hilarious. But he's really, really good, and he really solves the problem. I mean, he's really good at uncovering what the actual motivation and problem is. Are you guys hearing this, by the way? Are everybody in the audience? Let me know, Matt. If you guys are hearing this, this is a lot of fun. This is going to be cool. Okay, good. First responder here. You're phenomenal. Yeah. Jared, I just assigned 11 vacant lots in Southwest Florida, $35K assignment. Give it up for Jared. Come on. That is bananas. Great job, Jared. Absolutely incredible. $35K assignment fee on 11. Listen, there's a lot of play for vacant lots across the country, but for some reason, Florida, it's just like, I don't know. I know like Dimitri Von Kamp makes a ton there. I know that Brent Bowers does an incredible amount of business there. I mean, there's a lot of deals there. Absolutely incredible. So congratulations, Jared. Jerry L. What are the best strategies to find cash buyers for your backyard or any market? You want to take this? Yeah.
So to find cash buyers, the number one thing to not do is go to Facebook. Just to put that out there, Facebook is horrible unless you're looking for wholesalers that potentially have buyers.
Yeah. What about going to Facebook groups, going into the search button, the search bar, typing in @gmail.com?
Yeah, I mean, you can do that, but that's just going to grow your wholesaler like dispo list.
Yep.
And maybe some buyers, like you'll probably find like 1 out of 3.
Right.
But if you're going to use Facebook, actually what I will do is I'll go into the group and I'll just message the members.
That's it.
And then just
I message the person that organizes it.
I'll message literally everyone and just go, hey, just wanted to connect. Saw you're in this group. What do you do? Because now you can go and organize your people between buyers, lenders, and wholesalers that could bring you deals.
Yep.
But my number one source for finding buyers is Privy. It's honestly
Will you just come up here so that they don't have to like have a mystery here? Come on up. Bring it up. Give him a round of hand. Round of applause. There you go. Okay. You still got to talk into that.
All right, cool. Yeah, so my number one software for finding buyers is Privy. It's honestly a phenomenal software that I use to just skip trace people, and I'll go and put them into a dialer and then just go through it and run through that. And then if I don't find anyone from there, I use a website called Landglide.
Yep.
And that basically shows you who owns properties around that property. So then I'll just try and find someone that way.
Yeah.
And that's how.
So with Audantic, Audantic is a data scientist out of Seattle, and their list is like $30,000 a year for property owners. But with that, you get something called Buyer Sonar, and it shows you everything, every cash purchase, how many people, they've purchased, all that information. It's really slick.
I'll have to look into it.
Buyer Sonar might be available. Can somebody look that up? Can you get Buyer Sonar at audantic.com? And in the chat, I don't know. I don't know if it comes with the list or if it's like another service that you can just pay one off. But it is really valuable, and Jeremy uses it every day.
Honestly, though, the best way to find probably free buyers is to get on every single wholesaler's list and just watch what happens.
Mm-hmm.
See what closes.
You mean stalk the buyers, see which one's closed.
Just take a look at everything. You can get deals that way too.
Yeah.
You know, what doesn't close, what ends up closing, who bought it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now you also know that these people bought from wholesalers.
Yep.
So it's like now you don't have to run anyone through how this works.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell anyone, hey, this is $5K non-refundable, and them to fight you on it. You know, it's honestly super easy. Probably one of the best ways and easiest buyers for sure to work with.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Appreciate
There you go. Give it up. I like talking to the hard money guys too, the hard money lenders. One, because that's my dream. All roads lead to being a hard money lender and lending my own funds. And two, they have all the buyers. Who do you think they lend to? They have all the buyers. Like I would say, I mean, I don't remember. Jeremy could correct me on this. I bet 2 out of 10 don't use hard money. I bet 8 out of 10 use hard money. And so who are they using? Well, the hard money lenders have the absolute best list. And if you talk to them, a lot of times they'll send out your deals because they lend on them. So it's like a win-win for them. Sometimes there's certain hard money lenders here that they'll have it assigned to them and then they'll blast it out. It's powerful. Those guys, and then anybody that bids down at the foreclosure auctions, you need to know. Go down there, wait until all the bidding's done. They're going to be dressed shabby. They're going to be looking crazy. I don't know what it is about people that bid at the auctions, but they just, I don't know. They're like dressed like the Penguin from Batman. And you're just like, what is happening here? And, but have a conversation with them in between bids, in between the auctions, and see if they need some more inventory. Usually they do. Alan closed on a property last week and closing 2 more this month, totaling $42K in assignments, not including the 4 deals we've done with the Trana brothers last week. Come on. Here we go. I talked to these guys, I don't know, probably this time last year. There's a picture of me in their YouTube profile. And I was just like, just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep going. Just stay focused. Don't hire anybody. Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. You guys are incredible. I'd be curious to know what your team looks like. But great job. Lenny _123. If you are a one-man show with little capital, how to find boots on the ground without risking getting your deal stolen. I would assume that your boots on the ground are going to be either 1, because your schedule is too congested, or 2, you're doing this in a virtual market. You squat up with people here. You squat up with people. Anybody that's in the Rhino Tribe, anybody that's in Astro, anybody that's in subto, and that's a leader and that's doing stuff in that area. These are people of high morals. You know what I mean? This is the people that you want to connect with for sure. So just find somebody that's in this, find somebody in the area that you want to work in. And if you need boots on the ground, maybe find a good real estate agent. Play that. The best way to get loyalty for real estate agents is give them deals. Give them opportunities, not our deals, not wholesale. They want to go show buyers around in their car. They want to go with their suits and their tie and their nice, dresses on, and they want to do a listing presentation, and they want to put a sign in the yard and bake cookies at the open house. Let them do that. Give them all the traditional leads of people that want to sell their home traditionally, and have them help you with the leads that are off market, the leads that are wholesale. That would be that's the best. So it's got to be a strong relationship where you're giving them business, not just a win-win. It should be like, to them, win, 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 win. Now that should be with anybody, any kind of relationship that you have, whether it's the title company, escrow company, hard money lenders, your cash buyers, your whoever. Like, the more you get people to win big time, it always comes back, because it's a cycle, right? Giving and receiving is a cycle. You can't give unless somebody receives, and you can't receive unless somebody's giving. So it's the whole premise of this book right here. I read this book every week for in all of 2017, and went from 250,000 in 2016 to 740,000 in 2017, just because it finally sunk in. And what I did is I just highlighted it. I just highlighted it and read the highlights. I wasn't like a psychopath reading the same book cover to cover every week. But to each their own. Next, Matt. What are we doing? Matt's deciding who is. Oh, sorry. The Real Hungry Investor just assigned another deal for 12.5K profit, 12,500 profit. I'm in Georgia. Let's squad up. I have another deal that I'm having difficult in selling. make an offer, 2912 Commerce Road, Jefferson, Georgia. Guys, if you're buying properties or selling properties in Jefferson, Georgia, reach out to the real hungry investor. I like that. I like that. That's like a often people don't really put enough credit for being hungry. You know what I mean? Like being real hungry, waking up, like you start at zero money in your account, 0 deals, 0 opportunities, 0 escrows. A lot of people can relate to that. And just, even if you're balling out, to stop complacency, that hunger. I'll tell you what, if you've got hunger, like the Coulters, holy cow, man. Woo! It's fun. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch. People with, batteries come included, you know what I mean? They got big engines, that's what you need in your business. That's what you need to be in your own business. Cause if you're that, then you're going to attract that big time. Oh, shoot. Here we go. Come on. Thank you, Matt. Lexi Burns, how many times do you have your cold callers recall list? Usually 2 times, maybe 3. So what happens, Lexi, is the first time you call through a fresh list, you're gonna have the most contacts. Second time through, you're gonna have about half as many contracts, maybe 2/3 as many contracts, and then the third time you call through, it's like 10 to 20%. And so you don't want to set up your callers to be calling through and just beating up a list too much, because they just won't be talking to enough people. Make sure that you have enough budget to keep them fed. So in your mind, you want to figure 50 addresses per hour if they're using a dialer. 50 addresses per hour. So if they're calling for 20 hours a week, that's 1,000 addresses. They go through that twice, it's done. So then they have to start in the middle of the month. So you need 2,000 addresses per month if they're going for 20 hours a week. Does that make sense? We good there? I'm not really good at math, but I think that works. Watch this. Says, should I find buyers first in your opinion? I love that. What do you think? What do you guys think? Buyers or sellers first? Hold on.
I think if you squad up with the right people who understand the market and you leverage their knowledge, their experience, and their network, just finding the deals is going to make you get shit done way faster. Like Nate and Cody, we did 5 deals with them in August.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, bro, I got the earnest money, I got the buyers, I got the contracts. It's all done.
Yeah.
Go find deals. They did 5 deals and made 30 grand in August.
These guys?
Nate and Cody, yeah.
These guys right here?
Literally.
I knew it. How old are you guys? Throw it over to them. This is the best. This is the best.
Thank you again.
Can you put the cameras on them, Matt? Thank you. Go ahead.
I'm Cody and I'm 18.
All right, come around this way. There we go. Keep going. There we go. We got to figure this out. There you go. Yep.
I'm Cody and I'm 18.
Uh-huh.
I'm Nate. I'm also 18.
That's right. And you just got your first apartment.
Yes, in Tempe.
Awesome. I saw your mom post about it. That's the best. Because we're Facebook friends. So I saw this post with them in there, and like 2 years ago, you were like this big. Yeah. And now you guys are closing deals, wholesale deals at 18, living on your own.
Yes, sir.
And what do you guys do all day?
Call agents.
Make calls.
What agents? Who do you talk to? Come up here. Come on, give it up. There you go.
Really any real estate agent. We just have a list of like a shit ton, too many.
Yeah.
And we're just, if they're a little bit interested, they're going to get a follow-up.
Yep.
They have to like really hate us, not for us to call them again.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. How many calls do you make a day?
Easily like 200
200 calls a day.
at least.
And are you using a dialer?
Yeah, we have the Astro Blaster.
Awesome. And so you're just reaching out to agents and saying what? What do you say to the agents?
Hey, you got anything that could use some work coming up?
Okay.
And if not, we ask to follow up, and if they do, shit, send it over.
How do you follow up with them? This is a tough business, isn't it? Isn't this a really, really difficult business? This is crazy. This can't work.
So we have it where every 3 weeks we'll give them a call, and every 2 weeks an automated text will send.
Awesome. And then you just follow up.
Yes, sir.
How many deals have you done?
6.
Woo! Since when?
The sixth will close in November.
Here we go. Come on. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Go sit down. Get out of here. Absolutely. Inspirational. I mean, absolutely incredible. I mean, do you have a family that's in a real estate, that has a real estate background? No. Most of us don't. Right? So we're just out there doing this ourselves and getting around people that are doing it on a high level and then just talking to people. It's incredible. Conversations and offers. Everybody watching this, everybody listening to this. By the way, if you guys haven't, if you didn't know, if you're just joining us, Wholesale Hotline is a 7-day-a-week podcast. And so definitely check that out. We also have Jerry Norton on there pouring into the community. Pace does a standalone. Jamil does a standalone. I do a standalone. And then obviously the show is on there. So make sure that you check that out. Hit the subscribe. If you can give us a review, that really helps us out. And we really appreciate it. Awesome. Laurel Bartholomew. I love that. That's a great name. A seller just accepted my offers. Tenant is occupying the property. Eviction has been filed. Nervous on disclosing to the buyer. Any suggestions on how to go about discussing this with my buyer? You have to. Yeah. Because they're going to probably inherit that eviction. And so just let them know. Hopefully the price is right for them to go through that. Especially if it's going to close really fast and they have to hold it for a while the eviction process is going. But in my experience, I would say 90% in our business don't make it all the way to the eviction. They get out at some point. They'll take a cash for keys. They don't want the eviction on their credit. They understand what's going on. Oftentimes I've found there's a huge wall up between the landlord and the tenant. And we break through that wall. We go and have a conversation with the tenant, and the tenant's usually most of the time very cool. Very cool. It's when we can't get a hold of them or they just won't respond or whatever. We leave notes. We go to the door. We call them. We text them. We do everything we can. We send them letters, the whole thing. And if they still won't respond, then obviously we'll keep moving forward with the eviction. But most of the time when you can speak with them, let them know what the timeline is. It's all about expectations. People don't even know that their house is getting sold. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. And it depends on where you're at, Laurel. Some of these eviction processes in some of these states are rough. So do whatever you can to do a cash for keys out of the proceeds. You don't have to just give them the money and then they go, unless it's something reasonable. But if you have to give them a good amount, get it out of the actual deal. Awesome. Good question. We're dealing with that a lot of tenants. You guys have a lot of tenants in any of your deals? Yeah. Yeah. So it usually goes very well. Peter, what would be your advice to a wholesaler who had their first deal and lost it? How would you encourage them? I'm a little down. Peter, I am telling you, man, that is awesome. That is awesome because now you get to reflect. So just like we start, progress is pain plus reflection. So yeah, you're feeling it and it went out. So what happened? What's the reflection? Now you're learning it. Now you know what to do the next time. Now you know how to make sure that this is solid. Now you know what part of the process got a little bit screwed up. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. The best way to get rid of anxiety and fear is gratitude. That's it. That's all. That's basically Tony Robbins' whole platform is gratitude, 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 gratitude. Do you have the ability to speak? Do you have the ability to breathe? Do you have the ability to walk around? Can you move your arms like this? Can you do, you know what I mean? Can you do certain things? You could be grateful for all sorts of things. Be grateful for whatever, your family, your friends, whatever you can tap into, be really, really grateful. And then go have some conversations and make some more offers. That's it. Gratitude destroys fear and anxiety. Go have some really great conversations and make offers because it's really hard to feel sorry for yourself when you're busy. It's really hard to feel like you failed when you're busy, when you're taking action. But pain plus reflection equals progress. Rock and roll. Average Joe, how far back are you going for comps? 3 months. Yeah. 3 months. If it's rural, I'll go 6 months. And I'm always right there in the pocket. Are you able to pull that up, Matt, or no? It's the comping rules, the 7 comping rules. You don't have to. It's fine. But make sure is that it right there? No, that's the perfect call. I've got all sorts of stuff for you guys here if you want them. It's at wholesalinginc.com. Guys, we have a tremendous amount of downloads at wholesalinginc.com. But it's okay. Start first in the neighborhood, right? And then expand out and try to stay within any major if there's major roads, stay within that. If there's train tracks, if there's freeways, try to stay on the same side as the property that you're looking at. Because, I mean, if you go a mile out in a city, I mean, every property will be $1 million. You could find a comp. You could find something, right? And so, 3 months, neighborhood first, and then start expanding. Cool. Caleb Bennett, what's up? Brent, what is your opinion on getting lists from PropWire? Also, do you have an opinion on the built-in skip tracing with PropWire, or would you prefer batch skip tracing? Thanks in advance. Batch is the best. It has been. It's been the most accurate. PropWire is Jerry Norton's software, and Jerry has the biggest heart in the business. So test it. That's what I always say. Test it. If you pull a list and you're having great conversations, just do that. I know a lot of people that have used PropWire and just gone to like True People Finder and gotten the phone numbers for free and found opportunities. So, just make sure that you're talking to a lot of people, and don't let it be the excuse of you going, oh, I guess I'll just stop prospecting. I'll stop being in action today because all these numbers are wrong. Because after a half hour, you're like, oh gosh, this isn't going to work. I haven't talked to anybody. This is so frustrating. I'm going to go do something wacky, right? Then it happens. We do something wacky all the time. And so don't let that happen. Make sure that you test it out. You're setting aside, do it like, okay, I got a half hour to call these leads and I'm going to do it. But if you're setting aside 3 hours and you're just testing it, don't do that, because you'll just waste those 3 hours. You'll go down some rabbit hole, and then all of a sudden you're buying some sort of new cryptocurrency, there you go. So Caleb, try it out. River Falls home buyers. What is the TTP course all about? It's not a course. It's a tribe. It's basically what I talked about. Going and getting your first, you've got your squad. Second, you've got your doing your first deal, get proof of concept. And then it's all about what our mission is to make real entrepreneurs, have a wholesaling business that runs without you, and the path to be able to do that. So obviously it has all the lead generation and conversion, and we do 15 support calls a week. With different training. Some of them are training. Some of them are, different ways to look at deals and different potential, whether it be creative or whether it be flips or whatever else. And then we do live lead calls 3 days a week, where my team is making calls live, so you can actually hear people that have made my company millions of dollars. So I always learn a lot faster hearing somebody do it, being around it. So there you go. There's my sales pitch. Wholesalinginc.com. There he is. Dimitri Von Komp. This dude lives in Europe. Beautiful wife. Runs around. Just messes around all day long and does like 100 deals a year. All from Europe. He's got a super secret strategy that he keeps away from me. No, he's told me a strategy. It's really smart. He sends a bunch of emails to people. Brent, I hear wholesalers saying how it is much harder now to wholesale. Is that true? Just had a record $120,000 in 2 weeks with $1,200 spent. That is a 100x return, by the way. Boom. That is incredible. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to have the best year, Dimitri. I think a lot of people got squeezed because they didn't think that there was buyers. They didn't build a big enough buyer list or didn't build enough skills to find real deals. And so a lot of those are just out of the industry. And so I think that there's more potential than ever. Not only that, but I've talked about this before. 12 years we went with sub 5% interest rates. Never in the history of lending in the United States for mortgages did we go 12 years under 5%. And so we're going to have a lot of frozen inventory for a while. It'll trickle out, it'll melt a little bit, but there's a lot of people that are stuck in their house. Like if I bought my house, I bought it in 2020. If I bought the same house at the same price, my payment would be double. Right? It's just what am I going to do? You know what I mean? You're just going to, it's crazy. So, yeah, a lot of people are stuck in their house. A lot of people are stuck. So that means what inventory hits the market? Flippers, second homes, people that own rental properties, people that have to relocate. So there's going to be a supply and demand struggle here. And so we found that the flips that our wholesaler that our buyers are doing right now are selling instantly, multiple offers. So they're winning and they're going to tell their friends. There's going to be more buyers that are going to be doing this. And so I think it's a perfect storm for people that'll go out there and source the deals, matching up with people that, want to be full-time flippers. So it's really cool. And I don't think interest rates will go down for a few years. Why would they? So we'll see. But who knows? No crystal ball. Dimitri, you're the man. Love you, buddy. He's awesome. Declaration home buyers. Brent, do you call the first 2 or 3 numbers when skip tracing? Also, if you have a 35K absentee list from a year ago, do I only call it 2 to 3 times or can I call it forever? Yeah, forever is a long time. So you'll probably want to refresh the numbers every couple years, I would say. I call the first 2 numbers because the way that the skip tracing works typically is the first number is 88% accurate. The second number is 10%. So you got 98% in the first 2 numbers. So then the rest of the numbers are like 2%, but sometimes you catch a relative. Sometimes it is the right number. Sometimes, but I only call the first 2 numbers. We go through it twice and then we move on. Yep. Is that it? That is it. Awesome. Oh, here we go. Hey, Brent, if I'm filtering out how many properties the owner owns on batch leads, how many properties would that be for best quality absentee leads? Yeah, the more properties somebody owns, the bigger, the tougher they're going to be. I'm just telling you. The people that own these big packages, unless they're completely destroyed, usually waste your time. 99% of the time will waste your time. Sometimes some people are looking to unload, but you shook your head. You disagree? No, behind. Oh, you do? Okay. Right. So the properties, when people are savvy at owning property, they want to get the most out of it, right? Unless they're in some crazy financial situation. So I like the ones that own 1. I like the ones that own 2. You know what I mean? When they start owning a bunch of properties, I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. And then they go, well, I'll sell all 10 of them. You tell me what you want to offer. And then you just waste your time. John Johnson in the house. Nice. Good to see you, bud. The tallest wholesaler in town. He might be the tallest wholesaler ever. He's like 7 feet tall. Isn't that crazy? He's still growing. Wild. Anyway, guys, I love you. Thank you for being on here. Guys, come around here. And we'll say goodbye to everybody. Come around here and wave to everybody on here. Thank you guys so much for joining Wholesale Hotline. We're going to have a great show next week. Remember to check out the podcast. And remember this, keep your house clean, okay? Your actual house and this house, right? Protect your health and increase your value to the world. You'll live an incredible life. We'll see you next week. Love you. Bye.
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing?
I didn't say nothing.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
So squat up
and enjoy the show.
Cool. I think we should use the one where Jamil doesn't say anything.